Travis Wayne Goodsell. I was planning on doing a whole video series today on a new playlist that people would have to watch the playlist from the beginning, and YouTube doesn't allow that. And go over the factual LDS history. Then morphed this morning into the LDS history the church doesn't want you to know about, which is pretty much the same thing. They don't want you to know church history. And so instead I'm doing this video because it would be a lot of work for me, even though you would only get short little segment videos. But Mormons get extremely angry, extremely violent and abusive when you tell them the truth about Mormonism. And as a Mormon, I know all about this. I was born and raised in the church to tell the truth and seek the truth. So I was obedient. And what I learned was that the church is lying to us, that they aren't doing what they're telling us to do. I guess they weren't expecting us to actually obey them. I don't know. But in telling the truth to Mormons, Mormons literally get set off into these violent death machines who seek to destroy and, if possible, murder you so that you are silenced and that it's all covered up, that the church can remain with the lies because the truth cannot be shared with the world. And it's as if all Mormons know this. Why else would they get so angry? And I don't understand it. As one who pursued the truth is awesome. There's stuff that is awesome. It's movie material, literally. You know, the Steven Seagal movie material. But, yeah, what the church is not wanting you to know about is everything. From the New Israelites that Joseph Smith Sr. was a part of. Nope, don't want to talk about it. Want to keep it a secret. Well, why? Well, that's why. It's because learning about the New Israelites, they're in Vermont, tells us a lot. And Jewish mysticism was a part of that. So if you are familiar with the Holiness to the Lord parchment, Jewish mysticism of the New Israelites. Ta-da! Sorry, well, he's dead now, so I can't really talk to him anymore. But yeah, D. Michael Quinn wrote the book, Mormonism and the Magic Worldview. And he's trying to justify what he does not understand. Thinks he's helping the church. No. The other part is that Smith Sr. was a part of the York Rites Freemasonry. And you then have to know the difference between York Rites and Scottish Rites. Scottish Rites are the 33 degree stuff. York Rites are Knights Templar, Holy Grail, Egyptian gold plates about the bloodline of King David, the Solomon's Temple, buried in the ground. What a surprise that Joseph Smith's history, as well as the Book of Mormon and the Doctrine and Covenants, have these coded elements of Jewish mysticism and the York Rites Masonry. Church doesn't want you knowing that. Nelson's come out recently and said, nope, go out there on your missions, new mission presidents, and tell them that Joseph Smith history is history. No, it's not. Code. And that's what they don't want you to know about, is this code. This coded information. Documents encoded that you have to get your Cracker Jack decoder ring. It's a little more complicated than that. But, yeah, they don't want you to know this stuff. But it's cool. Trust me. If you've not watched my videos, it's awesome. Joseph Smith Sr. is a real American patriot hero. And nobody knows about it. What he did was probably life-changing for all of us today. He saved America single-handedly as a Master Mason there in Canandaigua, New York. And Mormons are angry and want me destroyed for it. I mean, seriously? That's messed up. Because, well, it means that current church is not only false, but evil. Because that's also part of the history. But yeah, Sidney Rigdon, major author of the Book of Mormon, with the Solomon Spaulding manuscript. Well, wait a minute, what happened with the 116 pages? Well, yeah, that's because Sidney Rigdon had wrote those 116 pages using another manuscript. Martin Harris, being on the anti-Mason committee in Palmyra, was recognizing some things that were making him uncomfortable. Thus, the story of the 116 pages. And it's interesting, I guess Martin Harris never bothered to read the 1838 history, which makes sense in a way, because, yeah, he was kept out of leadership. It was written in 1838. It was not published by Brigham Young, so it was altered by Willard Richards. Maybe he never did read it. But Brigham Young, he joined for revenge, thanks to the new author of the book on Brigham Young. He thinks he's making Brigham Young an American hero instead of Joseph Smith Sr. Nope. He exposes why Brigham Young joined the church, and he doesn't realize he's done it. It had to do with his sick wife. Church didn't heal her. She died. He all of a sudden magically joins the church all at once, after 3 years of attending church hoping to heal his wife. It was for revenge that he joined. But don't take pity on him, because enter Heber C. Kimball, his bestest buddy, or his bestie. I guess that's what they say nowadays, the youngins. Heber C. Kimball was pissed because there was a new lodge just barely built near him for him to go to, and the anti-Mason movement, which created the committees in Palmyra and other places, burned all, well, most, there's like 6 left after the destruction. They burned down all Masonic temples, both Scottish and York. That's how Joseph Smith Sr. was a hero, and nobody knows it and understands it. It's one of those secrets of American history. And Heber was pissed. And so, he joined with Brigham Young. Heber was already a practicing polygamist, since 1829, with his second wife giving babies to him. And so this secret polygamy, this secret revenge on the church and those responsible for the anti-Mason movement, they joined the church. They found out. And so they were put in the missionary positions as missionaries. And so they went and did their thing, recruiting the Scottish Rites, who became the Danites, all wanting revenge on those responsible. They found them, and so they secretly infiltrated the organization through the missionary recruiting. No tithing required. That's a protection racket. That's illegal. Not talked about in church history. I wonder why. Not really. It's being sarcastic, obviously. And so 1838, church doesn't talk about what I am the one who has labeled this as the leadership crisis. Having recruited the Danites were constantly causing trouble with the neighbors, lying to Mormon women, saying, oh yeah, Joseph is secretly practicing polygamy, so Bennett, he has this serum that you can take that'll cause an abortion. You'll never get pregnant, your husband will never know, and we can be spiritually united. And so they rose up into popularity, rose up in rank, and in 1838 caused a mass exodus of the leaders. Thomas B. Marsh was just one of them, caused by the Danites, as Joseph Smith is being framed and locked up for what the Danites of Brigham and Heber are doing. And that was their whole point, to get rid of him so that they can run the church. But he kept getting out of jail because he didn't do anything. And so, yeah, the murder, paid for by Brigham and Heber, ordered by Brigham and Heber. Willard Richards and John Taylor, only ones in the room, with Hiram and then with Joseph. Joseph chased out the mob with his 6-shooter. They don't want to tell you this. Oakes wrote a book on it, lied. Talked about the 6-shooter though, lied. Wonder why. And so yeah, after murdering Joseph, they sought to take over the church. They didn't follow the succession process correctly, section 107 verse 22. They did their own thing. People went their own way. And so Brigham Young, in order to get people to go with him, had to extort, kidnap, and sex traffic. Remember, Joseph was secretly practicing polygamy when it was Heber and the Danites. And here they are in the Salt Lake Valley. Murder, sex trafficking, sex slavery, corruption, fraud, shut down by the United States with the Edmunds-Tucker Act eventually, which Wilford Woodruff was considered a fallen prophet because he didn't fight America to continue the crimes. So you got all these LDS branches, Warren Jeffs, for example, and those members are in delusion that their church is the one true church with the one true God, Adam as Heavenly Father still. So, yeah, this is what the church lies about. They won't tell you the truth. And Mormons get angry and want to destroy you. And the leaders of the church, I have the documents. I presented them in court, and I was denied presenting them. You cannot sue the church in Utah. They have the government under their control. And so when Nelson keeps pushing the lie, 2020 is going to be all about the first vision after all the 100 years, is it? 1820, well, no, 200 years. Bicentennial year. Oh, coronavirus. Oh no. What was expected to occur in the latter days. Doctrine and Covenants 45:31. I wonder what the Book of Mormon was warning about in code. So, yeah, I'm just saying, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is a trap. And Mormons are falling for it like flies. And ex-Mormons are falling for it like flies. What the hell? You guys are the ones who know the information I just gave you. You know all of those separately, but none of you have put them together. You keep blaming Joseph for what Brigham framed him for. Cut it out.